Have you ever felt like your kindness was misunderstood, or that your efforts in relationships were going unnoticed? Do you find yourself constantly seeking approval, only to end up feeling more drained and unappreciated? To shift the narrative and embrace a mindset that empowers you, an approach rooted in self-worth, personal growth, and Stoic philosophy. In this video, we'll explore how Sigma men, with their unique blend of independence and authenticity, can transform their relationships and sense of self-worth through powerful habits and principles. By applying these insights, you'll not only reclaim your self-respect, but also become more attractive and respected by those around you. Kindness misunderstood as weakness. The pitfalls of overgiving kindness is often seen as one of the greatest virtues. However, when kindness is not balanced with boundaries, it can be misunderstood as a sign of weakness. Have you ever been too available for others, only to find that your kindness was taken for granted? When you constantly give without setting limits, you run the risk of being seen as desperate, needy, or even weak. People may misinterpret your actions as signs of desperation, thinking you're willing to bend over backward just to gain their approval or affection. This is where the Sigma mentality comes into play. Maintaining your kindness while simultaneously ensuring that you don't overextend yourself. By setting healthy boundaries, you signal that your kindness is genuine, but not unconditional. You are not there to please others or to seek validation. Instead, you are there to offer support when needed. But you also reserve the right to say no when it's necessary to protect your own well-being. Reclaiming self-worth. The power of setting boundaries, one of the most transformative steps you can take in any relationship, is to reclaim your self-worth. Too often, we find ourselves seeking validation from others, hoping for their approval to feel validated and worthy. But what if the key to healthy, fulfilling relationships lies not in seeking validation, but in prioritizing your own self-worth? When you focus on your own happiness and self-respect, you stop chasing approval from others and instead create relationships based on mutual respect. Setting boundaries is the most effective way to communicate your value. Boundaries are not walls that keep people away. Rather, they are guidelines that help others understand how you expect to be treated. By prioritizing your own needs and respecting your time, you not only gain the respect of others, but also reinforce your own sense of self-worth. Boundaries help prevent you from being treated as an afterthought, and they establish the space necessary for others to appreciate your absence and the effort you put into the relationship. Desperation repels attraction. Confidence over neediness. Have you ever noticed that the more eager you are to please someone, the less they seem to appreciate you? This dynamic occurs because desperation is inherently unattractive. When we are overly eager or constantly available, we send the message that we are willing to sacrifice our own well-being to gain someone's approval. Ironically, this can push people away, as confidence and independence are far more alluring. Sigma men understand that true attraction comes from inner confidence. Rather than seeking validation from others, they focus on cultivating their own independence, passions, and goals. When you prioritize your own happiness and well-being, you stop chasing others and instead attract people who value you for who you truly are. Confidence, not desperation, is the key to building lasting, meaningful connections. Personal growth fuels attraction. Stop stagnating in many relationships. There's a tendency to focus heavily on the other person. While this can be a sign of care, it can also lead to stagnation if you forget to nurture your own personal growth. Sigma men know that personal growth is an essential part of their attraction. When you stop focusing solely on others and redirect that energy toward your own passions and goals, you become more intriguing and valuable. The more you invest in your own growth, whether through learning new skills, pursuing hobbies, or advancing your career, the more you naturally elevate your own sense of self-worth. This, in turn, makes you more attractive to others. Personal growth is not just about improving yourself. It's about maintaining your independence and creating a life that others want to be a part of. Scarcity increases value. the art of creating space in a world where constant availability is the norm. Scarcity is a valuable commodity. The more you make yourself available to others, the less they appreciate you. On the other hand, creating space by focusing on your own life, goals, and passions allows others to miss you and recognize your worth. When you give too much of yourself too frequently, you diminish your perceived value. By maintaining a balance and creating moments of absence, you increase your desirability. Scarcity doesn't mean ignoring people or being distant for the sake of playing games. It means recognizing the importance of your own life and priorities. When others see that you are not always available, they begin to appreciate the moments you spend together more deeply. Creating space is a sign of self-respect and demonstrates that your time and attention are valuable. Avoid attracting users. Prioritize self-respect. One of the dangers of being overly kind or available is that you may attract people who exploit your generosity. Users often take advantage of kindness without giving anything meaningful in return. To avoid attracting these types of people, you must prioritize self-respect and set clear boundaries. Sigma men know that genuine connections are built on mutual respect, not on the back of one person constantly giving while the other takes. When you respect yourself and your time, others are more likely to follow suit. Relationships thrive when both parties contribute equally, and they fail when one person does all the giving. By prioritizing your self-worth and boundaries, you attract people who are genuinely interested in a reciprocal, balanced connection. Balance effort in relationships. Mutual giving and receiving. Have you ever found yourself in a relationship where you're doing all the giving and the other person seems to take it for granted? One-sided relationships often lead to burnout, frustration, and resentment. To avoid these dynamics, Sigma men embrace the importance of balance in relationships. A healthy relationship requires mutual effort, where both people contribute equally and support each other. When both parties invest in the relationship, whether through emotional support, effort, or care, the connection grows stronger and more resilient. Relationships that are based on mutual giving and receiving naturally build respect, trust, and admiration. Is key to ensuring that neither party feels overwhelmed or undervalued. Shift from neediness to independence. Be your own person independence. Be your own person independence is an attractive quality in any relationship. Sigma men are known for their emotional self-sufficiency and independence. They understand that relying on others for constant validation or reassurance erodes respect and creates unhealthy dynamics. To shift from neediness to independence, focus on developing your own life, passions, and goals. When you are self-sufficient and content with your own company, you send a powerful message. You do not need anyone to complete you. Instead, you choose to engage in relationships based on shared values and mutual respect, not out of a need for validation. Stoic philosophy on relationships. Focus on what you can control. Stoic principles offer valuable insights into relationships. At the heart of Stoicism is the idea of focusing on what you can control, your actions and your mindset. Instead of worrying about how others perceive you or whether you'll be forgotten, focus on living authentically and staying aligned with your values. By letting go of the fear of being forgotten or rejected, you allow yourself the freedom to pursue relationships that are meaningful and fulfilling. The key is not to seek external validation, but to cultivate a sense of inner peace and confidence that radiates outward. When you live authentically and focus on your personal growth, you naturally attract those who resonate with your true self. Confidence over pleasing. Live for yourself. Confidence is a cornerstone of healthy relationships. Rather than molding yourself to please others or seeking constant approval, focus on living for yourself. When you prioritize your own happiness and well-being, you no longer feel the need to please others to gain their approval. Instead, you begin to attract people who appreciate you for who you are. Living authentically and confidently means accepting your flaws and embracing your true self. Confidence comes from within. It's the result of living in alignment with your values and goals. When you stop seeking validation from others and start living for yourself, You not only become more attractive, but also more emotionally resilient and self-assured through self-reflection. Challenge your fears. Self-reflection is a powerful tool for personal growth. By regularly challenging behaviors that stem from fear of rejection or a desire for validation, you can realign with your true self and your goals. Using Stoic principles to reflect on your actions allows you to identify areas for growth and improvement. Self-reflection enables you to let go of patterns of behavior that hold you back from forming authentic connections. By confronting your fears and insecurities, you can develop greater emotional resilience and confidence. This growth fosters deeper, more meaningful relationships built on mutual respect and shared values. Scarcity and mystery attract. Keep things intriguing. Just as mystery keeps people engaged, scarcity creates desire. By not overexposing yourself and maintaining a balanced presence, you foster intrigue and attraction. Overexposure leads to predictability, which can lead to a loss of interest. Creating space in relationships allows others to miss you and recognize your value. Mystery doesn't mean playing games. It means maintaining a sense of independence and self-respect. By allowing relationships to unfold naturally and not forcing things, you create a dynamic where both parties are eager to learn more about each other over time. Respect through actions. Show don't tell respect is earned through action, not words. Sigma men understand that demonstrating self-worth through actions is far more powerful than simply talking about it. When you consistently uphold your boundaries, treat others with respect, and prioritize your own well-being, you naturally earn the respect of those around you. Speak louder than words. By demonstrating self-respect and integrity in all areas of your life, you attract people who share your values and respect your boundaries. Happiness as the foundation. Prioritize your own well-being. Ultimately, happiness is the foundation of all fulfilling relationships. When you prioritize your own happiness and well-being, you create the emotional stability necessary for healthy, meaningful connections. Happiness isn't something that comes from external sources. It is a state of mind that arises from within. When you focus on nurturing your own happiness and self-respect, you attract relationships that are fulfilling and rooted in mutual appreciation. Happiness and self-respect are not only attractive qualities, but they are essential for creating lasting, authentic connections. Conclusion: embrace Sigma principles for meaningful relationships.